Thank you so much for listening and watching the Wiseworks podcast. If you are on YouTube, you see our beautiful faces. If you're on Spotify, you are listening to our beautiful voices.
Yes, we do have beautiful voices.
Maybe. I mean, it's controversial.
I know.
However, we really appreciate you listening to us. We have noticed on Spotify, for some reason, we're getting quite a few listens.
Okay.
So if you're listening on Spotify, thank you.
Yeah.
If you would like to see the video version of this particular podcast, you can go over to YouTube, subscribe to us there so you see all the new stuff coming out, and watch all of the old stuff, everything we have on this channel. So really appreciate you being here, following us on Spotify, and subscribing to us on YouTube. So, Joshua, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about, this is going to be a little comical, I guess, topic, a lighthearted comical topic.
This is not within our niche. We're not talking about filmmaking.
Or not.
We're not talking about entrepreneurship or being brothers. It's kind of just more about stories.
Story, yes. Today,
we don't have a guest, you know.
We're going to talk about style a little bit. Our style and things that we did in the past. I mean, growing up, we've talked about this. We went to church, and our family is very religious. We come from a Baptist background. So,
yes.
We did some weird things for the circles we were from.
Yeah, probably not weird in general circles, but from the circles we were in, it was a bit out there. What was that?
Well, I mean, we've dyed our hair multiple times.
Dyed our hair.
as teen guys.
Yes.
I mean, the first dyed hair experience that I did, and you did at the same time. Mm-hmm. We did the same thing. We got blonde highlights, which at the time didn't look great.
Okay, Wyatt and Jamark, they did it before us.
Ooh, they did.
That was a big thing. I mean, if you listen to the Midnight Special on Spotify, comes out at 10 p.m. on Friday nights.
Yep.
It's audio only. We talk a lot with Jamark and Wyatt. They have been on quite a few times. They continue to be on in the future. They are pretty much the co-hosts of the Midnight Special when they're on, which is more regularly on than not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you listen to them, they actually dyed their hair with blonde highlights before us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that got in my mind of like, blonde highlights is cool. I want to do that. But it took a few years for us to be able to do it ourselves.
Yeah. So we did that. That was a little bit weird. And then...
So pretty much we're talking about the hairstyles and style in general we've had.
Yeah.
I guess.
I know, and something else that I was doing at the same time was, and it's very normal today, is to have skinny jeans. I know in high school, when I was starting to do it, it was not normal in our circles.
Yeah, and the V-neck, which I'm wearing right now. The V-neck is not in style anymore, but I'm wearing it because I'm a little behind.
Yeah. There was a few people that did it, but not a lot.
Not many.
And I know I got a lot of slack for that because it was kind of
you got a lot of
it was like
chastising.
I'm not wearing skinny jeans. Like for some reason you didn't want to label that you're wearing skinny jeans for some reason.
Yeah.
Which today that's like the style that people wear, just like real tapered look with jeans.
Yeah.
Or even I remember I had like skinny khakis, like modern fit khakis basically.
Yeah, you'd wear them to church.
Yeah.
You know. It's very stylish.
Yeah,
for sure. I personally did not get into the skinny look until quite a ways down. And even then, I don't really like wearing skinny pants unless they're stretchy material. I've always been I'm not fat, but I've always been a little bit more stocky. So I'm more of a thick boy. You know what I mean?
Thick one.
I got some thick thighs. I've got a
thick
booty.
Thick thighs and yummy.
I've got a healthy layer of stuff that jiggles up and down when I run on my stomach. I'm not fat. I'm just not like toned.
You know what I mean? Boy.
And so I didn't really think the skinny thing really fit me well until I discovered the whole stretchy jeans and like the stretchy khakis that are skinny and fitting and like, you know, hug your curves, but not in too tight of a way. And at the same time also had a lot of give, you know. They weren't constraining at all. When I discovered that and realized I look pretty good in these, and then I was like, okay, I'm in. But before that, I was like, I'm afraid to even dabble in that world.
And this is kind of a touchy subject to bring up, but that's kind of the beginning where stealing my clothes
Hold on,
came from.
stealing your clothes?
Stealing my clothes.
Okay.
Because I remember you stole, I mean, our waist is not the same, but I had a pair of too big skinny jeans for me, and you ended up
slightly
with
too big. Don't act like you're so much smaller than me.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying our waist. All right, that's why I said our waist. Like,
Okay.
our waist size is different.
I told you I got a butt, so
Yeah.
I fill in pants a little bit more than you.
Yeah. Actually, talking about pants too, at the same time, I was wearing very colorful pants. That was a thing.
Yeah, you were wearing like bright green, blue. You were
Like
wearing like pink. You were wearing like colorful jeans, man.
Colorful jeans.
Who does the colorful game below their waist? I mean, you can wear
Not
colorful
much.
shirts, but
It was
who
a
does
style
the below
for
the waist colorful?
It was a style for a while, but now it's not as much.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of still is with like plaid looking stuff. You know, like that's a style today in like
I love
but
plaid.
they were jeans,
I've always
and
lived in the plaid world.
that was something that I did for like
The
a
plaid
small
or the
period.
jeans?
No, the jeans, the
Gotcha.
colorful jeans. For a small period of time, that was a cool style, and so I did it.
Yeah. You definitely were a bit more out there than people in our circles. There was a few like younger guys. Do you remember? I don't remember their last name. I don't even remember his first name. He was in Boy Scouts for a minute. He always wore super tight jeans. He was a little dude.
I know who you're talking about.
What was
Babisha.
Babisha, yeah. I think that was his last name, Babisha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Samuel.
that kid. Sam Babisha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually they go to Kingsway, the church our family
Really?
goes to now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know them for a little bit. They were like the family that kind of did that. You know, he was always wearing the skinny jeans. He was always a little bit more of that younger kid version of stylish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stylistic. And it's not that you followed in his opinions, or his style himself, but you were like, it was like you and him. You know what I mean? Out of the guys, in the people.
I
Who
guess.
else do you think?
I mean, people weren't very bold with their style. I remember, this is not that weird, but I remember coming on like Christmas, I wore a suit with Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's a nice style, but I got chastisement for that.
For wearing Chucks with a suit?
With a suit, yes.
Man, Converses. I wore Converses with a suit on the first date with my wife, Kenzie, where I had the blonde front,
Yeah.
the little front spike.
Talk
blonde.
about that. That was a style you had for.
So there was
second.
a minute that I completely regret. I don't regret many things, but I completely regret this decision.
Why?
I didn't like the way it looked. I look back at photos and I'm like, that was a bad decision, you know?
I haven't seen a photo with that in a minute.
It doesn't look good. It was when I was going to school.
You got to pop up pictures. I know it's a little bit more editing, so people will see this.
I gotta pop up pictures.
Pop up a picture of this.
Man, that one thing. Okay, well, pretty much I had like this little blonde streak highlight thing in the front of my head, kind of like Zayn from One Direction when One Direction was still a thing. And I wore, on my first date with Mackenzie, I wore a pink tie with a black suit and Chuck Taylors and a blonde streak in the front. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
It's definitely like a boy band vibe.
Yeah, no, more than a boy band. It was terrible. I wasn't like super slim either. Like I was stockier.
Yeah,
So,
well,
like,
the suit wasn't fitted.
Suit wasn't fitted. Not
No,
at
it was
all.
definitely off the rack, probably from a thrift store.
Yeah, thrift store.
We were definitely pulling like the Napoleon Dynamite and like took off the mannequin type thing.
Yeah, I'll pull up a picture, but you talk to the people for a minute.
So you did that for a little bit, and then you also, I remember you did this before I did anything else. You dyed your hair red,
Yes.
and that was all red.
Mm-hmm. All my hair red.
And eventually I did mine
Not a
red.
bright red. It was
Yeah.
like a natural red look.
I eventually did my hair red too, but it wasn't at the same time. It was after. I remember that.
Yeah.
And so you did that. I mean, what other just weird, like unique style hacks did you have?
You go back to when we both said we had blonde highlights, you know? We did do the whole blonde highlight thing pretty early on. And when we got into that environment of the Baptist church
Yeah.
with the blonde highlights, what was your thoughts during that? Because I don't feel like I received a whole lot of encouragement or discouragement. It was kind of neutral, or people were just ignoring it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I will say this before I say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I was a young dude who was just trying to figure out his style.
Yeah.
And so even the slightest just discouragement was going to throw me. So I blew something out of proportion than it really was. But I remember our youth pastor at the time, he jokingly made a joke about guys that wear V-necks only do it to accentuate their muscles.
That's true. What do you think I'm wearing this right now? Heck yeah.
He said it as a joking, and when he said it, because he was talking to the whole youth of our church, I was sitting on like the first or second row.
Yes.
And I was wearing a V-neck, and he said it as a joke, and then pointed to me and said, "Oh, he's wearing a V-neck." And so,
did that make you feel embarrassed?
I was embarrassed for one because I was pointed out from everybody, and he was saying it as a negative thing, which it's not that big of a deal now.
No.
But at the time, I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of embarrassed." He pointed me out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And so. It's negative, but it was not that bad.
Yeah. I think a big reason why I did do the different hair colors, well, with the blonde specifically, I thought it was cool because the GoForce did it. I thought it would look cool. I was like, I'm naturally dark featured. My eyebrows, my hair, everything is a bit more of the darker color, dark features. And so I was like, if I do the blonde, then maybe I'll have a completely new look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, I'm going to try it. And when I did, I liked it at the time. But when I look back at pictures, I just don't really care for the way I looked.
Ooh, I got one I'm going to talk about. During all this time, actually this was maybe a little bit before this.
Mm-hmm.
You say what your motive behind all this was. For me, it was partly the attention, partly just to be comical about it,
yes.
but also while trying to find my style
yes.
for it. And I thought it was a good idea to go bald.
Yeah.
To go
talk about
not
that.
A buzz cut, bald,
man.
as bald as you can get. I mean, like put wax on that thing, bald.
Yeah.
I did that for a minute. I mean, I only did it one time. It wasn't like a trend that I did constantly,
you do it? But
I mean, I just wanted to experience it one time in my life. It was terrible looking, but I mean, I think it was good because I was expressing just trying something once, and now I can say that I did it. And now, like, I mean, you're a young kid who cares about your style. I mean,
That's
what
true.
are you trying to do? It seems like the biggest thing to look bad at that age, because you're like, oh, I'm trying to impress the girls or the beautiful dames and what, but really it doesn't matter in the long run.
It doesn't matter
anymore. I mean, you're a young kid, nothing's gonna come out about it. So
yeah,
I did that, and that was funny. I completely went bald.
You know, I'm really struggling to find a picture here of when
I know exactly what picture that we can have, which I'll find it after the podcast and I'll show
Really?
you which one. Yeah.
All right, well, if you don't see it, it means we couldn't find it, but I'm struggling to find it now. However, with the whole bald thing, that was the one thing you did that I was like, man, that's not a good idea. I was like, dang it, dude, you look silly. You're going to look like a cancer patient. I don't mean to be insensitive, but I was like, you don't have cancer.
Yeah.
Why are you wanting to look like one?
I don't know. I didn't go bald, but I went short.
That's really
About a
insensitive
year-
for me to say. I'm not.
A year ago.
You know, I'm just
No.
saying it. In my opinion, it was a bad decision.
No,
for you
it
to
for
do
sure
that.
it was. I mean, but I was just trying to say I did it once. About a year ago,
Because you did the buzz cut and then you got a straight,
Yeah.
not a straight razor,
just a razor.
just a
really.
razor, and just got all the way down to the skin,
Yeah.
all the way down.
But back to what I was saying. About a year ago, I didn't go bald, but I lost a bet kind of, and I went buzzed.
Yeah.
And that was funny because I was on this was when we were still doing the podcast,
Yeah.
and I showed everybody, and that was pretty short.
You've done the short hair a number of times.
Because
You've done
I don't
the long
have the
hair. You've done the short hair.
I don't have the face and the head, like my head's too round, and the ears to have short hair.
What
But
about
I
the ears?
love the short hair look. Like guys that actually
I think
are
you need
able
the
to pull it
beard.
off. Yeah,
I think you need a big beard,
And go
then you'll feel
buzzed?
good. Yeah, and then go buzzed. I'm gonna do that when I'm getting my 30s. Like pretty much what you see here, with kind of the short sides, the long top, and the slight facial hair. That's kind of what my 20s are gonna look like. But when I get my 30s, expect it. If you stay in contact with this podcast or you stay engaged, I'm gonna have the full beard. I'm gonna have a buzzed head. That's what I'm gonna do.
okay,
My tattoo game's gonna go way up.
okay. So that's something.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about what caused you to want to do the whole skinny jean thing early on.
I just like the style. Yeah, I just like the style. I think it looks better than really big
Boot
jean.
cut.
Yeah.
I was really into boot cut for a minute, like the flare pants, like the Wolverine style.
Yeah. Something that, and this is going way back and actually recently, and you were at one point too, not as much now, but I've gotten back to it because I'm like, I did this when I was a kid and I'm into this. Is those button down shirts with collars, they're short sleeve, just the craziest pattern, like Hawaiian shirts.
I've never been really into that.
I mean, I wouldn't say you were into it, but when we were younger, even as kids, we
Oh,
did
yeah.
that. Dude, that everybody was going to church with their ties and as like clip-on ties because they were kids, and we had our Hawaiian shirts,
We
man.
wore Hawaiian shirts, man. That button-up short sleeve,
Button-up Hawaiian shirt.
and not like anything under it. It was like just buttoned up. We just had our skin underneath that shirt.
Dude, I do that today. I mean, I have button-up shirts. I love button-up shirts like that. They're so
With
unique.
the crazy pattern, or
Yeah.
with the Hawaiian specifically?
Just crazy pattern. Any pattern is cool.
What's the most crazy pattern you've done?
Probably, I have a really real flowery patterned Hawaiian shirt that's pretty gnarly.
What colors are they?
Purple, pink, green combination.
Yeah, those are pretty clashing colors. They're
Yep.
gonna stick out.
But that with just like some solid colored, like maybe tapered pants that are good with white, like Van shoes. That's a style. I like that. It's stylish.
I've never been super into that look. But I will say, well, okay, what's a memory of me that you think of when you're like, Joe had a very specific style or lack of style, you know, in our early days where you were really trying hard and I wasn't?
Do you think it's that way now?
Why do you think that?
Because you steal my clothes.
Okay, well, let's get into
I
that.
buy clothes and you steal them because you need a style.
I don't steal your clothes. Well,
Dude, that shirt you're
this
wearing
store-
is my shirt. The V-neck, it was my shirt at one point.
Yeah, but it was your shirt like 2 years ago. I took it
might
from
have-
you a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
In Colombia, I took it from you.
Yeah.
Honestly, a big part of that is just be like, it's not like I'm actively trying to steal your clothes. It's like you leave something, or we wash something, and you forgot it at my place, or it was mixed in with our clothes, and I'm like, it's a good shirt, I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. I don't know. My personality just kind of gravitates towards that, to doing style like that. And your personality is like that too, even though there's no such thing as personality.
Okay, well, tell me why do you think you personally care about style and the way you look so much?
I don't know. I think it's just a way to make yourself look better.
You trying to attract some ladies?
And no, that's not really why I do it.
You sure?
No, not
Some
really.
would say that's like the only motivation we do anything.
To be honest, no. I mean, for me, and I've said this on the podcast, you can not like this, or you can like it, I don't know. There's not really a class in someone's better than this person or that.
Yeah.
But when you just strive to look better and have a better style, it kind of elevates you more. It makes you look more put together. It gives you that status of being put together, and that it helps you. I mean, it just all around. It's
Do you
good.
think it
You know what
helps
I'm
you
saying
feel
by
more
that?
successful and
Yeah.
like you're
For sure.
moving forward in a way?
Yeah, for sure. Don't
See,
you agree?
I've never received that kind of feeling out of what.
I mean, I do understand, and we've talked about this also, that for like video work and like being in this industry, usually the guy that's in like ripped up shorts and flip flops is the guy you go to that has the answer for every technical question you have.
They know the most.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't hate on that because I know
No.
someone
Yeah.
who's older, has a big beard, a belly, wears shorts
Shorts.
everywhere, or if he's wearing pants, it doesn't matter. Usually
flip-flops.
flip-flops everywhere. It's like there's something up with putting on Sunday morning at church. He's wearing flip-flops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the winter. I know a guy like that.
Mhm.
And although he may not be into filmmaking and know everything about video, he knew so much about, theology.
Yeah,
He knew
yeah.
so much about audio because he taught himself how to do audio work and stuff. In Colombia, I knew this guy, and I definitely looked up to him a bunch. He knew so much about woodwork. If you've seen Parks and Rec, he's literally like the full bearded version of Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was great. I worked with him on some building like structures, so like woodworking or building, screwing and nailing and cutting and things together to build up something. I've done a couple of projects with him, and he's just like this guy who's just super wise and super knowledgeable about very specific things. Always wears flip-flops. Is very chill,
Yeah.
down to earth. You've met him, right?
Yeah, I met
His
him.
name's Luke. He's a great guy.
But
He is
yeah.
a great guy.
I mean, yeah, just style elevates you a little bit, but there is those type of people that
The ones who don't care much about style are usually the ones with all of the real world knowledge.
not always,
Not always, maybe.
but sometimes yes.
I can't generalize. Too many people in the world
Well,
to generalize.
I guess that kind of ends our podcast.
What? We're ending it so abruptly. What time are we at?
We're past 20 minutes.
That's pretty abrupt.
Okay, you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I wanna get your thoughts on what are your actual thoughts and feelings about me taking some of your clothes and some of your modern day style, because I do dress kind of similarly to you. It's not because I choose to, it's just because I find myself in that world. What are your thoughts and feelings about that?
I mean, I sometimes I'm like, don't steal my clothes because I need them myself, but
You can get more.
you can get more.
I don't want to get more. I'm not going to go shopping for myself.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've always, and this is just because we're so similar in age and guys and growing up around each other, had kind of the same style. I mean, like either one person's going to do something, the other one kind of gravitates toward it eventually
Yeah.
in some fashion. Like our t-shirts, I'm really into just plain solid colored t-shirts, white, black, and you are too.
I kind of adopted that recently.
Yeah. I mean, I remember out of high school, I mean, I would just buy like a pack of shirts and wear it. I love
A
that.
pack of shirts.
A pack of shirts.
See, that's something that most people don't do. They don't
Mhm.
buy a pack of shirts.
A pack of shirts. Dude, I love that for some reason.
Okay, well, let me ask you this real quick. Did you ever do the red hair?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, what was your motivation behind the red hair? So
I don't know. I was just looking for another style and another color I wanted. And I'm like, I got this red. Let's do red. There wasn't much motive behind that, to be honest.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did red hair twice.
Mm-hmm.
Big part of that was like, this is going to sound a bit weird, but I'm going to be vulnerable.
I think I know what you're going to say.
So, we've talked a lot about the Gordons,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Their family is Irish. Most of the children in that family have very red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Strangely enough, I don't know if you've been able to notice it on the podcast, but a lot of my beard, a majority of my beard is very red. And so, but before I had a beard, I was like, man, I really love the Gordon family. I love everybody in their family. I want to like relate to them. I want to associate with them. And it wasn't because that wasn't the reason why I dyed my hair red, but it was a point of curiosity. I'd be like, what would I look like if I had kind of natural red looking hair? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On the top of my head. So I did it. I didn't hate it. Kenzie knew me when I had red hair at one point. And you know, I tried it. I did it once. I liked it. And so my hair went back to normal, and then I did it again. I kind of liked the style a little bit. I kind of liked the feeling I got. It wasn't that I felt really associated. And honestly, with my dark hair, when we dyed it red, it sometimes looked purplish. You know what I mean? Not purple, like dark purple or anything, but it just didn't have like that reddish natural color to it. Even though it tried, it kind of had like a darker red or almost purplish, like it's trying to be natural red. But I don't know. I kind of liked it, and I don't know if I'm really into dyeing my hair anymore. I don't think I'll do that again, probably. I think I'll just do hairstyles and different looks. But I'm glad I did it when I was younger, because what was burning inside of me to try things new, to reshape the look of who I was, it meant a lot that, you know, I was able to do that my mom and my dad allowed me, even if they thought it was crazy, to do that. Same with you. What did you think? Do you think it was important that you were allowed to kind of express yourself through the way you looked at you, even when you were young and a little bit crazy?
Yeah. I mean, I will say, yeah, it was good. It just, I didn't have any style, so I was just expressing myself, and maybe I should have been monitored a little bit, but not really.
Not as a kid.
No.
I will say this, if I was to give any advice based on my limited experience as a 25-year-old,
yeah,
I would say, if you're looking to have kids one day, don't be so strict and monitor everything, especially your boys do.
Yeah.
Just let them try some stuff out. If they want to look a little different and have blonde or green or something crazy, just let them do it. They're just kids. They're going to figure out life over time, but they have to figure it out in their way. And if you're an adult and you've always wanted to do that, go ahead. But don't stay in that too long, because in my opinion, adults with crazy hair colors or unnatural hair colors aren't taken super seriously. You know what I mean? So there is an element in our culture of like the whole weird hair color look. If you're an adult and you're trying to move forward in your life, don't live in that too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're in the middle of that and you're an adult, work yourself out of that. Get back to your normal hair color. Make yourself interesting and unique, but hair color is not always the best way to do that.
Yep. So I guess now we're good.
Now we're good. I feel like I've said everything we should say.
Okay. So that was this episode of Weisberg Podcast. We also... Did we already plug everything at the beginning?
We already plugged everything, but just go follow us on Spotify.
Yeah. Spotify.
Subscribe to us here on YouTube.
Yep. And have a good week.